Hey Rockstars, and welcome to another edition of what I have in my gaming library and why. So I'll be talking about some other cool games, again, some others that I don't even know if I've mentioned in a video before. So some really exciting stuff. I even got some party games. I know. We'll talk about it right now. Now, before I get started, as always, a huge shout out to my patrons and YouTube members. It is through their financial support that I'm able to stay independent in the news coverage of these games, whether it's reviews, whether it's industry critique. All of that is my honest opinion and not my wallet's opinion, because I accept no money from any game developer. Instead, we are driven by and large by our funding through Patreon and YouTube memberships. So thank you so much for that, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you can give to either of those, there's a link down below. But if not, that's fine too. A simple like or a comment saying this video was helpful is super helpful to me. Both the algorithm on YouTube likes it, and I appreciate hearing it because I make these videos for you guys. So if I know you guys like it, I'll make more, because there's no other reason for me to make them. I'm not making them because I'm bored. I can tell you that much, right? I do it for you guys, so I hope you appreciate it. Now, this is going to be kind of an interesting one, just because I didn't even intend this, but only one of these games isn't kind of IP themed. And even then it sort of is, because the company bought the IP for it to then make a new game with it. So, completely unintentional, but that's apparently the theme we're going with today. So, let's get started with a small one. Super Fight. Now, this is the horror deck expansion. I bought this for my wife because she loves horror movies. I do too. We watch horror movies all the time. So if it has Jason Voorhees in it, she's all about it, right? I mean, that's really all it is. This is actually a really, really fun game. If I were to review Super Fight now, how I would describe it is, do you remember when you were like 7 and you were playing with the neighborhood kids outside? That's what we did back in the day. And you guys were like arguing about some nerd crap, like who was a Green Ranger versus who was the White Ranger versus who was, you know, whatever, right? And then you would get in a shouting match, like in the middle of the street, about how, like, no, my lasers go through your force field, and then, no, my force fields are impenetrable, and they're ultra strong and stronger than your lasers. That is Super Fight. That's all there is to it. It's just you shouting about nerd crap at your friends. This is a lot of fun. The only time I won't play this game, or won't want to play it, is if I want to have a voice, because every single time my voice is so hoarse just from all the arguing and yelling and shouting and ridiculous things, and it's funny too, right? Like I once won a game being a narcoleptic evil genius goat. No joke. Won the game that way. Because all you have to do is, like, you know, argue with the judge or whatever, and I was able to argue that my narcoleptic goat was a genius and won. so it's a fun game. There's an anime deck. There's, again, a horror deck. There's a geek deck. There's a deck for everybody. Very fun game. I've played this at multiple birthday parties. My kids often request it. Can we play Super Fight Dad? Can we play Super Fight Dad? And I'm like, do I want to lose my voice tonight? No. But sometimes I'll say, yeah, I would love to. Or especially, again, like on a birthday party where, and other kids have like never played this stuff. I won't throw down the horror deck for them, but, and they're like, oh my gosh. What got me into this was I was watching, oh gosh, again, I can never remember the names. Like, once I click record, my mind goes, right? Even more so than normal. He was a great video game coverage guy, very pro-consumer. Died of cancer, sadly. I believe it was cancer. I cannot think of his name. I apologize. I'll put it on the screen if I can remember it, and remember to edit it in. But I was watching him play with some friends online. They were playing like the tabletop simulator version of it, and they had the anime deck in there, and a guy like picks Goku, right, as his like character, right, in some like mech suit or some junk, whatever. And so he's trying to argue. He's never seen Dragon Ball Z, by the way. I don't know how you did that, but anyway. So he's never watched Dragon Ball Z, and he's like, well, I'm Goku. I can't die. I never die. I'm the hero that saves everything. And everybody that's seen Dragon Ball Z is just like, he dies in like 3 episodes into Dragon Ball Z. Like, Raditz just kills him. Like, or I guess Piccolo does. But my point is, like, he dies all the half the show, he's pretty much dead. Right? And so it was just really fun. And they were all laughing and cackling at him. And it was like, what do you mean he dies? And they were just shouting and having fun and, just laughing and laughing. I was like, oh my gosh. Again, I told you guys this many times. I play board games to get away from video games, to get away from TV and movies and apps and phones and all that stuff. I want to spend time around a board having fun with my friends and family. Around a table, I guess I should say. It doesn't even have to be a board. And that's what I do. And I love it. And so something that can give me that can give me lasting memories where I was like, oh, do you remember that time when I did this? Or do you remember that time when I did that? Love it. So, and it's cheap too, right? I mean, for what I get out of it, it's, I think, a more expensive card game, but whatever. Okay, it's slightly themed, right? Because it has, like, you know, a hockey mask. Weird. Let's go. Bioshock Infinite. This was a gift to my wife. We both love the game, but she loves Bioshock. I love Bioshock 2. Don't get me wrong. And even System Shock 2. One controls like garbage. It's getting remade someday. This is actually a pretty good 2-player game. It is a garbage tier 4-player game. This is one of those things where what they do to make it 4 players, they take the 2-player game and make you play half of it. And that's never, like, well, who wants to play half of a game? That's stupid. So the last game we played, sadly, was a 4-player game, and we will never play it 4-player again, ever. Don't do it. Don't. Sadly, it was the last time it's actually a pretty fun game. It actually has a few minis in there, and you're able to, like, play these different cards and recruit, and it's got all the art and, everything you would need. Elizabeth is busy doing stuff, and it's very, very thematic, in pretty much everything. They did the IP really, really well. I actually liked this game. This was a pretty fun game. Beautiful art, as you can see. Like, oh, so smooth, too. So great art. I mean, you'll recognize the map. If you've played the game, if you haven't played the game, you should play it. It's a good game. Booker is a true hero. Oh my gosh, this is even going to open. There we go. Or soda or something. All right, so there's the map, right? You'll recognize the map. You recognize the map. I'll stop hurting myself here. And you got these cards that you can essentially, like, do votes on and stuff like that. It's got dice. It actually does have little tiny minis. Again, they're in a bag because it makes me sad, but they're there technically. So I guess it's a minis game. Not really, though. Anyway, actually, pretty cool game. I really enjoyed it as a 2-player game. It's actually quite a lot of fun. Now I want to play it again. It's a very cool theme, too. And again, the artwork is there. It's very unique. I like it. That's by Plaid Hat Games, by the looks of it. Yeah, they did a good job on this one. I liked it. There's a little mini review for you. I like that one. I don't know where I'm putting this crap. Okay, put it there. I'll put it on the ground. Next up. Hopefully my daughter hasn't ruined this. We have Star Wars Rebellion, one of my favorite games of all time. I don't play very often. When it comes to review, okay, so when I do a review, I refuse to give it a numerical rating because I don't know what the difference between a 7 and a 7.5 is. If I have a 9 out of 10 and I have a 10 out of 10, why would I ever play the 9 out of 10? It's worse, right? It has a lower number. And it's because games are far more nuanced than that, right? You play games based off of a variety of different things, and you can get tired of something. Your favorite food might be pepperoni pizza, but if you have pepperoni pizza every single day for a year, you're going to start wanting other things than pepperoni pizza. Pepperoni pizza may have been a 10 out of 10, but now it's a 3 out of 10, you're sick of it, right? It's like those people who go on Steam with like 3,000 hours in an MMO and give it a thumbs down saying the game's boring. It's like, I bet it is to you. You played 3,000 hours of it, right? So that kind of thing. I don't understand how a game that's as nuanced as all of these could have a numerical score, and I don't know the difference between a 7.5 and an 8. Like, I can't point, but like, that's the 0.5. Whatever. Again, garbage 4-player, great 2-player game. The reason this doesn't get played very often, it gets played about once a year at this point. It used to be about 3 or 4 times a year, back when I had less options. It is a very long 2-player game. It's a 2-player game. Do not play it with 4. Again, you're just going to be playing half a game. It's dumb. Or 3. But it takes 3-4 hours to play. And so there's not a lot of times where you have 4 hours with just one other person to play. And then if you do, there might be other options. Maybe play a few games. Maybe play Claustrophobia and then something else. So it doesn't always get played, but it is the Star Wars game. If you are a Star Wars fan, it's the Star Wars game to have. by far, it is Star Wars in a box. It captures so many good things about it, and there are so many crazy stories. Whether it's, at one point I captured Jedi Chewbacca and forced him to witness the destruction of his home planet Kashyyyk. Because I'm the evil Empire player. It's got a cool shipbuilding recruitment kind of thing. It has very cool asymmetric things, especially with the card play, where if you're playing as the rebellion, then you can sneak people onto other places, or secretly move your whole fleet, or sabotage other things, or cause a revolt somewhere, or do stuff like that. And if you're the Empire, you just have sheer numbers. You have tons of numbers, and you have probe droids and stuff like that. You can go to try. It's a fun game. I really enjoy this game a lot. My daughter enjoys it too, so let's see how it is in here. She likes, hey, look at that, it's not bad at all. Oh man, that makes me a little sad, but it's what it is. She likes to take all the minis out of these games. So a lot of times, if I'm storing a game and it works, I will keep these for the padding, right? Sometimes that's helpful. But it is a Fantasy Flight game, so their storage is throw everything in a bag. Which is very sad. Not painted, of course, because they're in a bag. And I have no desire to paint, 30 tiny stormtroopers. So there's that too. Anyway, very, very fun game. One of my top favorite games. Rarely play it. Again, funny how that works. Does that make it a 10 or does it not? If a 10 is, I'd always want to play. Well, I wouldn't always want to sit down and play 4 hours of a 2-player game. That doesn't make any sense at all. But there are times where I do. There are times where I want to do it with that. So, anyway, there's that. Okay, we got two more games. Let's do another small one and I'll end on the bigger one. How about that? So, again, going with IP, we have Wolfenstein the board game. This is a prototype that I kept because it's great and it's pretty much complete anyway. So this is a very fun game. This is what put Archon on the map as far as I'm concerned. If you didn't bag this because you saw Archon on it, you were mistaken because you judged a book by its cover or by its... Okay, so I'll explain that real quick. I don't like CMON as a company. I think they're a garbage company. But sometimes they do something good. Like they released a whole bunch of Zombicide scenarios for free. That's awesome, right? I think that they're highly manipulative, that they bald-faced lie to people all the time, that they pretty much lie, cheat, and steal any money that they can get half the time. But at the same time, I gave Hate my Game of the Year award, and I gave Rise of Moloch my Game of the Year award. So a product that's made by a company can be made by a garbage company, can be made by a company that wasn't successful up until then, right? Or whatever. Like it. That's why when I review things, I rarely get into the meta. I try to review a board game based off the game. What's available here? I don't care who made it necessarily, unless it affects what the delivery thing is, right? But it didn't. Archon made this, and it's great. It is. I would play this over Zombicide any day. Any day. The ammo system alone is fantastic. And again, like for a prototype, like this is pretty legit. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's pretty much the whole game. So look, I even got like foam storage in here and little dials, and the mission book has like all these different missions in there, and in here I got more minis here. So yeah, anyway, cool game. Well, again, love the ammo system where you get these different ammo and then you can use special abilities based off that. That's a lot of fun. It plays a lot like Zombicide, but better. It's like Zombicide plus. If you're into coding, you might get that reference. But really, really like this. I cannot wait to get my final version, so I can start playing that as well. This is great. This is one of the games last year we took up to the cabin with us when we went on vacation away from my 4 kids, and because my wife picked it too. It's a fun game. Really, really fun. Really, really like it. One more game. One more. I already mentioned it briefly. That's Rise of Moloch. Now, I didn't always have all this. In fact, what I had was this. So way back in the day, before I made a video called CMON is Evil, CMON every now and then would give me something. Now, unlike a lot of companies, they weren't very friendly or personable or anything like that. They would just target you based off of what they felt they needed coverage on, right? So if they didn't need help, then screw you. But Rise of Moloch was not selling like hotcakes, and so they wanted to get it out to some people who could do some reviews. And so I got this retail. There's no Kickstarter exclusive stuff in here. Love it. Fantastic game. Really, really enjoy it. I love just about every part of it. It's a really fun game. Very tight. Every single game I have played, which is all of them now at this point for the core box, has come down to what feels like the last turn. It is such a tightly done game. Very well balanced. Very cool minis. Very cool theme. Cool story. Cool world. Great mechanics. There's not a whole lot more to say. Really, really good game. Gave it my game of the year. So, Time Machine came, and I got all this. Now let me explain why. Because I actually haven't ended up playing any of these yet. Though, I know someday I will. And I actually mean that. Last video, I talked about how when it came to Descent, I bought too much. And how it's actually... And then I bought Death May Die, and I bought just enough. Right? Which was just the core box plus Kickstarter exclusives. We played all this, so the next thing we play will be one of these, right? Because we won't be playing this again. There's not really a lot of character variety, unless you get more characters, right? Like a character pack or anything like that. But I know I love the game. I know my group loves the game, and I know I can get it to the table. And so with that knowledge, this was a good investment, as far as I'm concerned, because I know I will actually play it. It's not a game that I hope will be fun. It's not a game that I like, but I hope my group will like. It's not a game that is fun, but rarely gets to the table or anything. I mean, like, we played a lot of these games, and we enjoyed it. So I bought everything I could. I bought all the character expansions, and then I bought all the different, smaller expansions there. That one sounded messy. Just... all of it. I love it. So, yes, please, give me more, because I know I like the game. To me, that's a good purchase, because I know I like the game. And if I know I like the game, then buying more it'd be like buying some more Magic. I know I'll use it. I know I enjoy Magic. We get fun out of just opening some boosters and then making a deck out of them and stuff like that. So, I guess purchase stuff smart, right? I don't have a bajillion games, but I have quite a few games. But the ones I have, for the most part, and I hope you'll continue to see that, I actually really enjoy, and I'll keep playing. I guess I didn't say this, like I'm not sure I'll play Descent again. It's not because the new app-driven one's coming out. Far from it. I just don't know if that's the dungeon crawl experience I want anymore. I think I've played a lot of that. I think I've played my fill of that for the most part. So I bought too much, right? But Rise of Moloch, I'm still, like, even just holding it right now, I want to go play it. So I am all for having more options available to me, and I think it was a good purchase on my part to do it. There'll be some other games I'll share where I bought stuff after the fact, even secondhand, even scalper prices. I still think it came out ahead, so I'll let you guys know about that as well. But that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this kind of weird IP-themed one. I did. I enjoyed showing you guys what I have and why and how cool they are and how much money I spent on them, and I don't know, too much. I don't want to think about that. Guys, I hope you had a great time watching this video. Let me know what you thought about this part of my selection. I still got some more. Again, I still have some I haven't even mentioned to you guys yet that you haven't seen or heard from. I got some more prototypes. I got some more big box games. A lot of stuff to go over. I didn't realize I had so many games until I started breaking this out into different videos, and now I'm like, there's gonna be quite a few. So this is still just the start of the series. I hope you guys want more. Do let me know. And I'll keep on tracking. All right, guys, that's it. That's all I had. Have a great rest of your day. I'll tell you guys again real soon. Bye.